seen the dream, we've heard about it on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. You work from home, you make your own hours, you shop for a living, and you flip things online, and you're making a ton of money, right? And I am not here to burst your bubble, because some of you may not know this, but I actually did reselling full time for a couple of months, and I am just here to share all of the things with you guys, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between about it. So let's get into it. I hope this video is not meant to burst anybody's bubble. We will go through the positives, and we'll go through the reality and what some people might consider the negative. If you are new here, hello, my name is Nikki. I have been a very part-time reseller for the majority of my reselling career, which is I'm coming up on 16 years, you guys. It makes me feel so old. And during those 16 years, like I said, like 98% of it, I have been a very part-time, working full-time or going to school full-time or doing both while doing reselling. But very recently, 2023, I was on maternity leave from my full-time job. If you haven't seen the NBC video, I work in full-time healthcare. That's what I have my master's degree in. So I was on maternity leave. My job is amazing, and I know I am very blessed, but I was on maternity leave, you guys, starting 6 months pregnancy. So I got a full year off of work, okay? And so I was like, you know what? I'm off work. I have never been a full-time reseller. I want to see what this is like. So here's what I did, friends. Here's what I did. And I will tell you, it is the most money I have ever made from reselling in such a short amount of time. No, this is the most money I've ever made reselling ever, because I was doing full-time hours, which is insane, friends. So I was working probably anywhere from 60 to 70 hours a week. This went on for months. So I was 6 months pregnant, and this went on basically right until I gave birth. I know some of you are going to be like, Nikki, that's crazy, that's dangerous. I have always worked like this. So my doctor said, I probably shouldn't have done this, if I'm being honest, but hey, he's here, he's healthy, I'm healthy, we're alive. But I went really hard, you guys. So what I did was I did basically full-time live selling with full-time traditional reselling, and I almost quit everything. So I was doing about 5 to 7 live sales a week while maintaining 10 to 40 listings every single day. I did that for 30 days, and I was like, okay, this is crazy. This is not the type of full-time reselling I want to do. I cannot sustain this. And I think most of us know that's not, I don't know, unless you're like Superman or Superwoman, it's not long-term sustainable for me. It just wasn't. I could only do it because I wasn't working my full-time job. But even if, I'll be dropping a lot of tips in this video, even if I were just full-time reselling, I had nothing else going on, I would never ever do full-time live selling and full-time traditional reselling, where you're listing, you're sourcing, you're inventorying, you're shipping. It was insane, you guys. So that went on for 30 days, and I was like, can't do this. So I actually burned out of live selling. So when I was 7 months pregnant, I just stopped live selling, and I do not recommend that. Especially if you want to be successful live selling, you have to be consistent. So really be realistic with yourself. Like, if you can only realistically do 2 live sales a week, only schedule yourself for 2 lives. I just quit. I stopped. I disappeared for months, you guys. I went 5 to 7 days a week, built up a really good following, had a lot of people that were coming to my shows, anywhere from like 50 to 100, which was really good for me. I was selling out 200 items every show, but I burned out. And so for month 7, this is very easy to track for me because I was pregnant and then postpartum. So from month 7 to about the time my son was 6 months old, I did full-time traditional reselling. So I did almost no live sales. I don't think I did any. I literally just disappeared from live selling, you guys, for about 6 or 7 months, probably a little longer. And I just did traditional live selling. And during that time I was listing, it was myself and my virtual assistant. We were listing about 20 to 45 items every single day, 7 days a week. She and I work in advance. So like, for example, the things that I am listing today are going to be going live in 2 weeks. We're currently 2 weeks ahead. So I schedule and draft out 2 weeks ahead. I'm trying to get a month ahead. So that's a little bit about me and my full-time experience. And please, a lot of you I know watch me are full-time resellers and you've been doing it for decades or months or years. If you have any insight that you would like to share, leave it in the comments down below, okay? Because I in the grand scheme of things, I only did full-time reselling for about 8 months. So I have a lot of experience reselling part-time, about 15 years, and then 8 months I have full-time reselling. But I feel like I have enough insight from doing both to make this video. A reality check about being self-employed is that you're never off. You are never off. I am so grateful that one thing I am grateful about my full-time job is that once it hits 5 o'clock, I'm off. I don't have to check my emails. I don't have to respond. I'm not worried about where my paycheck's coming from. Every 2 weeks, I get the same paycheck because I'm salary, and I am off. Once I'm off, 5 p.m., that's it. When you are self-employed, that is not the case. You are always on, and you are always concerned about when your next paycheck is coming. That is the harsh reality, and I wanted to start with that one first. As many of you know that are full-time self-employed, it can be very stressful, you guys. It can be very stressful. So that is something to keep in mind. And I really think that people should test the waters with full-time live selling or any type of self-employment. Test the waters if you can while you still have that full-time income, because it can be very stressful. Like, I would have a live sell where, no joke, I would make a net profit of like close to $2,000, and then I would have a live sell where I would literally sell like 5 things and I would make a net profit of like $30 or $40. It is such a roller coaster. The same thing with traditional reselling. Like, if you are not a live seller, you guys, don't worry. This video is not just for live sellers, because like I said, I told you, for the majority of this full-time reselling, I did it traditionally, where you photograph, you list, you store. We are in my storage unit right now where I store my 1,600 items, and you ship. And I would have sales days where I was still, no matter what, I'm still sourcing and listing 20, on the slowest end, 10 to 40 items a day. And I would have a day where I would have no sales, or I would have a day where I'd have 3 sales. It is many days later, I had to quickly go to a real estate thing, but I wanted to not end the video there because I want to talk about the things that I loved about being a full-time reseller. Number one, there is nothing better in life than having control of your own schedule, in my own opinion. This is coming from someone who has worked a corporate job most of her adult life. And for about 12 years, you guys, I was in the office 5 days a week. And then in 2019, I became kind of like a hybrid schedule. But for most of my corporate life, I have worked in the office every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, like 9 to 5. And then my job did require some travel, mostly in the state of California, but I would say like 30% would be around the country. So that was always nice. But because I've always been self-employed, I've always worked for myself as an adult and had a full-time job, I can tell you the short time that I was full-time, I was like, this is amazing. I can start work when I want to. I can end work when I want to. If I want to hang out with my kids in the middle of the day, I can do that, and then I can work late at night. I can work in the morning. It was just so freeing. I could work on the go. I could work at Starbucks. I could work at the beach. You get what I'm saying. I honestly feel like that is such, and I understand why so many people gravitate towards working for themselves, running their own business, because in my opinion, that is the #1 benefit. You don't get that. At least I don't have that at my corporate job. It's a very structured schedule. You need to be available. You've got to do your job during that time. So that was the #1 benefit for me. Number 2, how do I say this? Basically, you can scale your business based on the effort and the time that you put into it. So while I did say like reselling is so up and down, it's a roller coaster. If you really know what you're doing and you know your numbers, you guys, I've always said reselling is just a little bit of knowledge and a lot of numbers games. If you know how to look up sell-through rate, you know how to look up comps, you can learn brands, you could do this. And yeah, you might have a no sales day, you might have a no sales weekend, but that doesn't last forever. I've been doing this long enough to know. Sorry, speaking of work, I have to have my ringer on because there's just a lot. It's a busy time at all of my jobs right now, so I can't turn that off. So I'm sorry if that bugs you, but I wanted to finish this video because I just had more to say. I don't even know if I'm going to post this video, you guys. It's a little bit of just like a chatty, rambly, like I'm your pal, let's chat. But I wanted to make this because I've been getting a lot of questions about full-time versus part-time. What I was saying is that you can scale your business and grow as fast and as quick as you want. And if you need to make money quickly, you can pull it out of the business. This is why I am always talking about diversifying, friends. Diversify the way you resell. If you can't stand photographing, listing yourself, maybe you could be a wholesaler where you sell to other resellers. Maybe you could just source things and then send everything to ThreadUp and The RealReal. Or maybe you don't have time to source. Like for many years, I didn't have time to source, so I was using wholesalers. It's funny, in such a short time, I basically started using wholesalers to source for me in 2023. And then end of 2024 and now 2025, I am a wholesaler to my group members. So I've seen both sides of it. And when I was in the office full time, I did not have time to source. So I had like 10 people that were sending inventory to me all the time. So maybe you like the shopping part of it, but you don't want to source, or you don't want to photograph, list, store, all that stuff. You could be a full-time wholesaler, or you could sell to other resellers. And a couple people ask me like, well, I don't have social media like you, Nikki. I don't have a reselling group. How do I become a wholesaler, or how do I find wholesalers? There are a ton of groups on Facebook, you guys. I will leave a link to some of them down below where there are people looking for wholesalers and there are people that, like myself, are selling wholesale items. So I'll leave a link. They're totally free to join. That's the way to do it, you guys. If you don't have a social media presence and you don't care to do it, you can just join a bunch of these groups and be like, hey, I love to source. Tell me what you're looking for. Or you could be a reseller that, like I am, and sell things. I just sold a Gucci purse to one of my group members. Man, you know who you are, friend. That bag is so beautiful. If I can remember, I will put photos of it. It's a leather, I forget what it's called, but it's leather with the bamboo handle, and I sold it to her for such a steal. The good stuff that I post in the group usually goes really fast. Like the trendy stuff, I should say. Like the designer stuff, the skims. It's like as soon as I post it, someone buys it. So for all my group members, like the Lululemon, I posted, it sold 5 minutes later. The skims I posted, and the way it works is if I have time, I take a couple photos of the item and I'll be like, I have this Gucci bag. First to DM me and pay the PayPal invoice gets it, so it just makes it fair. And that's how it works. So I'm just thinking about that because just before I started filming this, I sold the Gucci bag. And you guys, that's another way to resell. So that's one thing I love about reselling, and I've always told you guys, I don't think I will ever quit reselling. I don't care if I'm a millionaire. I just love it, and I love that there are so many different ways to do it, and I love the values? I love that we're saving things from the landfill. I guess that's like the core of what we do. Some people think that's the opposite of what we do, but yeah, so I will always do that. I'm looking at my notes. You guys know I'm always looking at my notes. So the biggest things, control over your time, and you can control how much money you make based on your effort, your knowledge, and how much you diversify your income. If you sell on more than one platform, shameless plug, I have a referral link to Vendu, which helps you cross-post, and they're also going to start offering sharing soon. Sell on multiple platforms. But those are the two biggest things, and those are huge, huge reasons why I really loved it. Friends, I swear we're gonna finish this video. Let me look at my notes. Let me wrap it up. So all of that to say, you probably didn't want any of that info. I'm just sharing my story for those of you that I feel like this could be a timeless video for, like, if you're watching this 3 years from now and you're like, I don't know, do I want to make the leap to quit my job and be a full-time reseller? I think it can be done. We know that, right? We see people doing it all the time that are successful, but I just don't want to disillusion you, friends. It is a lot of hard work, and especially if you are making a very good salary with great benefits at your full-time job, think about that. Think about how hard you are going to have to work to replace that. You can do the numbers. I did the numbers, and I would have to work very hard. I made notes of everything I would need. I would want to be at least a month ahead with all of my listings. So basically everything like that would be going live today would have been listed a month ago. I need to have systems in place for shipping. Preferably I would have a shipper, because shipping is very time consuming when you're doing high volume shipping. Like the most I ever shipped out was 145 packages, and that was a lot. I need a solid inventory pipeline. Like I need inventory coming to my door daily, in addition to me sourcing myself. A lot of you guys probably know this, but if you didn't, once you get to the point where you're doing very high volume, it is totally unrealistic to scale by just going out and sourcing at thrift stores. You have to have things coming directly to you in order to be able to scale. I mean, unless you're just like some kind of beast like Techno Sports and you can source like 200 items like daily somewhere. I just cannot. So I would need like a solid pipeline. Probably, I don't know that I need truckloads, but I would need a couple pallets a month coming direct to me in order to be able to do this full time, to replace my income that I have in healthcare. I will say, like, if you have a salary maybe where you're making like $40,000 or $50,000 a year, you guys, you could make way more than that reselling and not work like super crazy. You can do it. I promise you. I make that part-time reselling. You can do that. I feel like even if you're making $60,000, you could do this. You're gonna have to grind, you're gonna have to work hard, but you can do it, and you can cover your health care. And well, I shouldn't say that, because healthcare is so expensive in California where I live, but I do feel like if you're making like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, you can do that working full-time reselling and cover your benefits. And you're gonna have to work hard, but it's definitely doable. I just say for myself, I don't know that I would ever just be a reseller. Multiple streams of income. I feel like even for those of you that are full-time now and you don't have any other stream of income, I would recommend trying to add some. And that can be multiple streams just from reselling. Like I said, wholesale, consignment. You could do local pop-up shops. One of my group members actually DM'd me, and she was like, you know what, you have such great inventory and you live in Los Angeles. Why don't you do like these? She told me, I'm going to do a video on this. She would sell at local farmers markets, and she would take like 200-300 pieces of inventory, and we have very similar inventory. She said she would make a couple $1,000s in a weekend. I was like, what? That is one avenue of reselling I've never tried. And we have some like, no exaggeration, we have some like world famous farmers markets in this town that I've just never even tapped into, and I don't know why. So video coming on that soon. Or I don't know if you guys want a video, let me know in the comments down below. But I've never sold like in person, and how cool would that be? Like some of you guys could come and shop and I could finally meet you guys. Yeah, I don't know. So there are so many ways to do this, but I don't think I'll ever be just a reseller. I will always have multiple streams of income. I'm always going to have my real estate investing. God willing, I'll have more than one property. Right now, I just have one property that I bought in 2018 and I rent out. It's a condo. If you go and watch some of my old videos, I'm pretty sure I've given you guys a tour of it. I think I showed it to you when I first bought it on one of my YouTube channels, but I'm always going to be a real estate investor, God willing. I'm always going to be involved in real estate, and I really hope social media doesn't go away because I love doing it, you guys. I just, as you guys can tell, I love to chat. I love it. So if YouTube goes away, I'd probably find some other form of social media. And while I don't make a ton of money doing this, you guys, at all, finally this channel is starting to grow. As you guys have seen, I'm starting to get offered sponsorships. So it's really nice because this is a lot of work, you guys. If you have been here if you are still here at this point, let's do a word, because I am always shocked. The last one was tooth, and it was hilarious. There were like 100 comments that said tooth. If you are still here listening to me ramble, comment real estate down below. Actually, you know what? Just put the house emoji. Just put the house emoji or the word real estate, because sometimes, you know, it's hard to find the emojis. If you can't find the house emoji, put house emoji or real estate, and I know that you're a true one. And if you have made it this far and you're hearing me say this and you're about to comment house emoji or real estate and you have not subscribed, why not, friend? I am uploading so frequently, multiple times a week. It is free. And if you just love to put on a video and feel like you're hanging out with a friend that's just chatting for 30 minutes and circling and spiraling but comes back to the main thought, consider subscribing, friend. But yeah, this channel has been growing, so I've been getting offered sponsorships. It's really nice because I don't make a lot of money doing this, you guys. I genuinely do these videos because I love it. I love helping you guys. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. I love editing. Like, I love everything about this. So I will always have multiple streams of income. So I don't know that I will ever be a reseller only. I can tell you that's highly unlikely, but I can see myself ramping up my reselling along with my other jobs. Like, if my full-time job were to go away, I would say I would be like 50% reseller, 50% influencer. I know that word gets a bad rap. Well, I guess I can't, because where's real estate? So it'd be 25% real estate and then 25. I don't know how I would do it, you guys. It's a lot. I don't know. You guys always ask me, like, how do you do it all? I don't know. I go to bed at midnight and I wake up at 4. That helps. I don't do that every day, maybe like 3 or 4 days a week. So my days are, I'm just chatting at this point. My days are probably significantly longer than most people's. Like, I literally get up at 4 and I don't go to sleep until midnight. So I have that extra time. Like, my kids don't wake up till 6. So from 4 to 6 is when I usually bang out a ton of listings for real estate. I'm sorry, for reselling. And I do a lot of social media stuff. Like, you guys will notice these videos go up really early in the morning because I'm up editing them really early in the morning. I do a lot of my real estate work at night. I have my full-time job in the day, but my job is a little bit flexible. So like, I can hang out with my kids, which is really nice. That's one thing I love about when having a flexible corporate job, is that I can hang out with my kids in the middle of the day. Like, I just took my son out for lunch and to the aquarium on a Tuesday at like 2 p.m. You know, I couldn't do that when I was in the office. So that's how I get it done, you guys. I have help. I'm always so transparent about that. Please do not compare yourself to people you see online. We have a lot of help. A lot of those people you see online that are getting this stuff done, I have a lot of help. You guys know that. I told you, like, all of the grandparents literally fight to watch our kids. My dad was mad that I did not call him to fly to California from his home in Oklahoma to watch my kids when we went on our honeymoon. He was like, I'm so mad that you asked the other grandparents and you didn't ask me. I'm like, you live states away. Like, that's the type of grandparents we've got. So we have a lot of help, you guys. So don't compare yourself to me. Also, it's just my personality to be like, hustle, hustle, hustle. And I know hustle culture is not good. I'm not saying you should hustle. I'm just saying it's just naturally within me. So that's how I get it done, you guys. And now I'm finally going to end this video. I don't know if I'm going to post this, you guys. I think I've been doing a really good job in the last couple of videos of being very succinct, getting my points out, and ending the clips. And this one is just like a ramble. But I think it would be helpful for any of you that are considering doing full-time reselling. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from all of you. Are any of you full-time, part-time? I feel like some of you, more of you may be full-time than I realize. So let me know your thoughts on anything I've said down below. And if you're still here, you know the word, you know the emoji.